Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Vince and I post on this channel every single week talking about options trading, teaching you about option trading strategies, and showing some of the trades that I take myself. So if you want to stay tuned with some future videos, then make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. But before we get into today's video, I want to make sure to remind you that we're doing a 10,000 subscriber giveaway, giving away two 29-inch LG ultra-wide monitors and one Respawn gaming chair. So if you guys want to have the chance to win that, it's going to be the second link in the description below. So in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and break down some of the scalp trades that I took this previous week, taking advantage of some breakouts above previous resistance levels on Zoom as well as on Amazon. I was able to lock in just about $2,000 in an extremely short amount of time, taking full advantage of short expiration contracts, getting in and getting out very quickly, locking profits, and not bag holding these option contracts. Before I roll the intro, make sure to first go ahead and smash that like button. And if you're interested in joining a Discord group with over 1,200 members talking about options trading on a daily basis, make sure to check out the first link in the description below. All right, guys, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna jump into the charts. I'm gonna show you exactly when I got into these trades and do some technical analysis so that you guys understand what I was looking at and the reason I went ahead and purchased these contracts. All right, guys, so I got the charts pulled up here. This is Wednesday, and this is the Zoom chart here. This is the 1 minute chart. And then down here, I have the option contract that I went ahead and I purchased. So if I pull up those option contracts, I'll pull them up right here so you guys can see this is my account. I went ahead and purchased first a Zoom September 11th 380 call. I purchased 5 of them, and this is where I started to scale out. So I sold one here, I sold 4 here and 1 here. This is the 380 call. I purchased them at 9:14. I got out 4 of them at 11:30 and the last one at 16:10. I let one of them ride because I went ahead and I locked in $859 here and locked in the last here at about $700 there. So just about $1,500 in total on this first Zoom scalp. Now, if we go ahead and look at when I got into these, I'll go ahead and pull up the exact time confirmations here. So here they are right here. These are the time confirmations. So when I purchased them, I purchased 5 Zoom at 10:17 a.m. at 9:14. So going into why I purchased these at 10:17 a.m. So looking at the morning here, I'm looking at the 1 minute chart, and what we can see is Zoom consolidated pretty nicely here. If we zoom out and go back to Wednesday over here, we can see that on Wednesday, we had a nice pre-market gap up. It started to trade sideways in the pre-market, and then I was watching to see if Zoom could go ahead and break past those pre-market highs with some nice volume. So if we chart out the pre-market high, it was just around here at 368. So let's say give or take 368, that was around the pre-market high. Now, the reason I didn't get into these right here in the morning when it did break through it is because I do not like to trade these option contracts before about 20 to 30 minutes into the market. During the morning, it can be very volatile, and you never really know what's going to happen. So I like to give it some time and wait until it finds a really nice trend. So what we can see is we went ahead and moved a little bit later into the market, and right here we started to see a really nice pump. You can see the volume really picked up. If you look down here on the bottom, a really nice spike in volume. The price started to move higher, and I started to get interested. So at 10:17 was right here, right around this point where the green circle is. So I zoom in, we can see right here is 10:17 where I circled this. That's when I went ahead and got into these contracts. So looking down here on the option, this is Wednesday. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in to the 1 minute here. I got ahead and got into these at 10:17. So right here is 10:17 on the option. So I put a circle here, 10:17 right around here. So I didn't get it, exactly when it started. You can see I missed out on about 3 minutes of the move, but that's because I wanted to wait to see what was going to happen, and I went ahead and waited for some real confirmation. So 10:17, I got into this trade. I'll put a circle up here on the chart. It was right here on this candle. So what I waited for was a small pullback. We can see we had one red candle here, one small pullback, and I was ready to jump into this. You can see if I pull up the confirmations, once again, that is right here. So 10:17, got into those, and I started to scale out relatively quickly. So only 5 minutes later was I starting to scale out of this. Just about 5 minutes later, I was up about $2 to $3 per contract, just about $300 on that. So I started to scale out 3. I sold another one right here at 11:30, same price. and then I sold the last one here at 16.10. So just about 22 minutes later is when I went ahead and I continued to hold that last contract. So looking at 10.22, we can look at why I got out of this. So 10.22 was right here. I started to see Zoom fail this level right here at 381, about 382. We had a little bit of a double top here on the 1 minute chart, and I was starting to take some profits. For these scalps, I don't like to be greedy. I want to get out of them when I have these profits. This was a nice 5 minute move higher, all green candles. The contracts were really appreciating at that time, and I knew that any quick downturn in the stock would really hurt these short expiration contracts. So you can see I started to scale out, and with me locking in those profits, so locking in just about $859, I was happy to hold one last contract just to see how much further Zoom could go and see how much more of the meat I could take. So the last one, as we saw, I got out around 22 minutes later, which is right here. So at 10:44, which is right around here. So 10:44 is where I sold my last contract, which is right here on this candle. I saw that Zoom had some resistance, had this sort of doji candle bar, and it started to trade lower, breaking under the 9 EMA, and I was ready just to take my profits there. Now, during this trade, I was watching this 9 EMA, watching Zoom to see if it could hold this 9 EMA. As you guys can see, it started to just go ahead and hold it. It hit some, pulled back a little bit here on the 9, but then found support and moved a little bit higher. So pretty happy with that trade. If I zoom out on Wednesday, what we can see is that it did fall. It found support at the VWAP pretty nicely here, and then it started to bounce again and ended up a little bit higher on the day. If you guys are buying multiple option contracts, you have 5, for example, take some profit, sell 3 or 4 of them, let the last one ride to try to take more advantage of the move. It's a great way to take, larger profits and let those winners run a little bit. So the next trade that I want to show you guys is one of my losing trades here on Zoom, and this is a quick trade that I cut my losses, purchased 3 September 11th $400 calls at 789, sold them at 690, and took a $300 loss. Now pulling up the confirmations, what you can see is I purchased it at 1104 and got out at 1107. So what you can see at 1104 was right here. What I was looking at was a break past these previous highs. Zoom was curling up. I was expecting it to break these previous highs, and I was wrong. Obviously, we had a strong rejection, a break under the 9 EMA, and I quickly cut those losses. Now if I pull that back up, what you can see is I got out at $6.90, and these contracts went all the way down to about $4. So quickly cutting your losses can really save you some money. Don't bag hold these. If I would have, just sat on them and said, oh, they'll come back, and wish and hope, I would have went down all the way to $400. So that would have been about a $500 loss instead of a short $300 loss. So quickly cutting those losses, you can always recover from them. And that's why I wanted to show you this example. It was a failed setup. It was not what I expected, and I needed to get out of it. So both those trades I just went over were called out in the Discord group. Right here is the Desi trade section. This is where I call out all of my trades. Up here was the Zoom call outs. This was the one that went up 100%. And then right here is the next one. This is the Amazon contract that I'm about to go over. So I called out this Amazon contract as well. And let's go ahead and run over that contract there. So Amazon, pulling up the trade confirmations, what we can see is that I went ahead and got into these. I got into some larger contracts here. It was $82.30 to purchase them, a $330.10 call, September 18th. I sold it for $90, and I made about $768 on this. Pulling up the confirmations of when I purchased these, what we can see is that I purchased them at $9.33 and got out at $9.36. So just about a 3-minute trade to make just about $700 to $800. Now the reason why I got into this trade. So on Amazon, what I was looking at again was the pre-market highs. So we can see Amazon did have a nice run up into the morning. This is the 10th, this is Thursday. It had a nice run up. It opened near the highs. It pulled back a little bit, and I was waiting to see if Amazon could break that previous high. Now what we can see is that Amazon did. It found support here at the 9 EMA, bounced off the VWAP a little bit, had some pretty big candles here, but ended up breaking through it right here on the 933, and I went ahead and I jumped into it. So 933 to 936, that is just this move right here, and that's when I took advantage of this scalp. Now looking down at the option contracts here, I purchased it at 83 and I sold it at 90. So 83 is right here, 90 is right around here, so I took advantage of this move right here. Now they ended up going to a high of around 101, so it would have been a nice $1,900, $2,000 profit if I held them. But I'm not going to lie to myself, if I saw this move down here in the stock past the VWAP, I definitely would have got a little worried and probably would have taken my losses here when this candle broke under the 9 EMA. So it's not good to look back in hindsight. You can't say, oh, this went to 101, I would have made $2,000 and get yourself all psyched out. You know, you have to look at the chart and see what would have you have done in that situation. Now, I'm happy, I'm very happy to take this profit, and I know that I would have sold right here on this dip. There's no way I would have held through this. Now, obviously, if I just, didn't look at the chart, walked away, maybe you would have made a little bit more money, but that's hindsight trading. That is not something you want to start doing. Take your profits when you have them, especially in the market that we're in right now, a very choppy market. If you have profits, take them and run. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that quick overview of those 3 trades that I took. One of them a winner, another one a loser on Zoom, and then the last one on Amazon, a nice short scalp, making a little bit over $800 on that one. If you guys want to, get involved with some of these trades, if you want to see my live callouts, make sure to join the Discord group. It's going to be the first link in the description below. All of the members saw these trades. I know a lot of them took those Zoom trades, a little bit cheaper of a contract that some more small traders can afford, and we had some really nice profits in the group. So if you want to join, just go ahead and check it out. Again, make sure to join the 10,000 subscriber giveaway, some really cool prizes. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for some future videos, press that bell notification if you want to be notified every time I make a video. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.